MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. We're back for Wednesday.
Yes, middle of the week.
And as I mentioned this earlier, 75 today. Now, we're still chilly now as the temperature starts to rise up, but great weather ahead for us today.
Yeah, it is chilly this morning, but yeah, I know it's going to get warmer. I'm ready for some warmer weather though. Kind of dressed a little bit, for.
Well, that's
warm weather.
actually thin.
It is thin, and when the cool air hits it, I mean, it's like freezing.
That gust, and I want to say, let me go back and check my notes here on my weather. I want to say that we got a little bit of a gust today. Let me see here. No, that's going to be later on in the week. But a little breeze here and there, but nothing bad. Now, heads up on this, we may have a little bit of possibility of some severe weather next week. We're great all week. Sunday night, we'll get a slight chance of rain, and then Monday, we get like a 60% chance. And that's where we could see some, what I would call maybe some severe weather. As we get closer to this and we pull this up, you kind of see what's happening. This is our outlook for the next 7 days there. And we go across, look at this, 84 on Sunday.
Oh, my goodness. Look, I hope that everything doesn't start blooming. I've already seen buds on some of the plants and the trees and everything. I hope everything doesn't start trying to bud out. And then we get this cold snap that just kills everything.
It's a-coming.
I'm ready for some spring flowers. I don't want everything to be ugly.
Yeah, it's time for those tractors to stop dropping those discs and potatoes and everything, getting ready for a spring garden.
We were just talking about that last night, too. It's not a bad idea to have a garden. As high as grocery prices are going up, So.
Eggs, the whole 9 yards going up, and gardens will be. And the next thing that I hear could be on that we may not have enough of is fertilizer.
Yeah.
I hadn't dug in to see how much truth is into that, but I have heard that fertilizer is one of those products that will either be high or hard to come by.
Well, last night, Kurt he stopped by one of the stores to get dog food. He said there was hardly no dog food, and there were certain brands that were left, but they were the higher price brands, and everybody had kind of cleaned out the affordable stuff, But anyway, we hope everybody's having a good morning.
Yeah, I wanted to quickly address something. I had someone that watched us from Oregon a little bit ago. I'm not quite sure, or watched me, what they were upset over, but they started calling me all types of names, and they have since started calling advertisers that advertise with us and cussing them. Right. So I wanted anybody to be aware that advertises with us that there is somebody that lives in somebody's basement that most likely doesn't have a job calling around cussing people, blocking the number that he calls from. It's illegal what they're doing.
It is. I know people do this a lot, but it's amazing what you can find out Googling stuff and where it leads you, because what they've done on one platform leads you to the other platform, leads you to another platform, and eventually could lead back to a family photo. So, the best thing to do is just probably try not to do that to people, because it will bite you in the end.
And I have a secret weapon, and that would be Heather Talbert. She hadn't got to work yet. She will get you, buddy. But anybody that advertises, I just wanted you to know that there is somebody that is being extremely ugly, calling businesses and cussing them for everything that they're worth. And the best I can tell, it's about 21, 22-year-old that I've got. Don't know that for sure, but that's my initial looking into this. And it's just rude and ugly to do things like that. And I wanted to address it. I didn't want anybody to be caught off guard by that.
Yeah.
Well, but
people are miserable and try to make other people miserable.
They do. But we don't let things like that bother us. We keep right on rolling with what's going on. A few things that did happen in the area yesterday that we wanted to go over. Portions of a street was blocked off in Meridian. And let's go here and take a look at this. This was 36th Street. Now, if you're not familiar with it, it was blocked off for about an hour. Second night in a row that gunfire broke out on that street. The first night, nothing was damaged. But as they got to looking yesterday, and here's a picture of the police. Look at all of these holes that are in the street.
Like gun casings?
Gun casings. Roughly 20 is what I'm told.
Goodness.
And you go into this homes. There was a few of these homes that had busted windows from bullets. Brick got a few. No one was hurt, but that's beside the fact.
Yeah.
So 36th Street, people in that area, be cautious of these bad people that are riding around at night doing these things. They will be caught.
Yeah.
I urge everybody that can afford one to get a camera to put in front of your home, whether it's the doorbell thing or a camera on the end of your house to where you get pictures of what goes on while you're asleep. There's people that ride around all night that most likely don't have jobs either. Because if you had a job, you'd be worried about your own business instead of harming others.
And the deer cameras that a lot of people use in the woods, those are a great thing because they blend in with the, trees or shrubs or whatever. Take pictures. Anytime anything moves in front of it, it takes a picture without you even knowing it. So those are a good thing.
Now, the another thing that we addressed this morning that is we welcome a lot of other folks watching television with us now. The Quitman School District, there was a gun found on campus Monday afternoon. It did not have ammunition in it, none whatsoever, nor did it have anywhere around it. It was just an empty gun that was found. Authorities are taking care of the situation, and they will handle this, but no one was at any point in any danger.
Where'd you say? Well,
Quitman High School.
Quitman.
And here it is. You can find this on our webpage here, sammedia.network. Unloaded, and again, it's unloaded there at Quitman High School. And it tells the whole story. Here's a letter from the superintendent. You can go and read all of that. So you're up to date on everything. I don't want any misinformation out there about this at all, because when it comes to kids, your first thought is, oof. But read the letter. It was never anything loaded, and they're handling it.
Still alarming.
Yes, and that's the way they put it in the letter, and they will take action on that. And I brought this up, when you and I were in high school, it was a common thing in any southern state to see a gun rack in a truck. No one ever done anything, though.
Yeah, because most guys would go hunting right after school or something. They would go, if it was hunting season, they'd,
But now,
it was common.
If that were to happen now, it'd be a different story. What happened in America in between the 70s and 80s to where we are now, to where, how did that happen?
Well, there's so much chaotic mess in this country, and everybody has to be appeased in some kind of way. Everybody, is made of glass, like I've said several times before. So that makes it bad for everybody else. Criminals are getting away with everyday things, and
we would like to say, well, this is other places, but if you as my mind was, as you were talking, goes back, Mississippi was one of the first states that had a school shooting in the Jackson area over there. First national big story. That was awful.
Yeah.
And maybe Anita has the answer there. It was all about your raising.
Right.
Parents. Yeah. That possibly is it.
Yeah, my son last night at supper, he was like, so-and-so said so-and-so today at school, and I said, well, son, what'd you do about it? Called him a name or something. And I was like, well, what'd you do about it? He said, I'm just not going to let that bother me. Their parents just don't raise them right. He's 7, But, I try to raise my kids right. We try to raise him right. I've tried to raise my other kids, right. Not everybody turns out great,
No.
They don't. Everybody has to make their own decisions at some point. But really, yesterday I was talking with a client, and the best thing that you can hope for when you're raising your kids is that they turn out to be responsible adults. That's one of the best things that you can do. And just raise them to try to be that way. Not everybody goes that direction, though,
But it's a lot of broken homes across America to where, and not everybody, it happens this way. So take it for what it's worth, what I'm trying to say here. But a lot of times after a divorce, there's not guidance from both sides of this, and one parent can't handle.
Well, if it's one parent, a lot of times they're having to work a lot.
That's what I mean by that.
Yeah, they can't be home a lot. So they can't monitor every little action that their child does, but I don't know. And I don't know what the answer is.
But it goes back to the family and what you're taught at home as to what you do elsewhere.
Right.
Again, there is always an out on that. Somebody can be raised right and turn out rotten.
Yeah, they can.
That happens
too.
But
they
for the
can,
most
because
part,
at some point they have to make their own decisions, and then, but usually you have to pay your consequences if you make the wrong decision. But nowadays it's like not always the case.
oh, you only robbed them 20 times this week. Oh, that's okay. You ain't got to go to jail.
You took $999 worth of stuff. You're fine.
Yeah, that's
one
not a
more
crime.
dollar, and you know. It's crazy the way, and that leads back to, I saw somebody talking about the speech last night. We'll probably get into that, I'm sure.
Yeah, we are. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
But I was just surprised in a lot of stuff I heard.
It is. And we'll go over that in just a moment. Hey, a new additive, and I brought this up just a moment ago. Maybe you like to know what the fire department does in Meridian, where they go at night, where they go during the day. We've added a new feature, and here's what it looks like. You can visit our webpage here, and we'll have this daily, the Meridian Fire Department run. Look for this picture. It'll be on there, and it tells you where they went, what they done, where it was. So a new thing there just so you can keep up with it. And that's Sam Media, SAMEDIA .network is how you find all of that. And, of course, the police reports. We're going to be adding Newton County. Spoke with them yesterday. They're coming aboard, and we're going to know everybody that gets handcuffs in Newton County also.
Yeah.
Don't be breaking the law over there. They don't want you to do it. But
have your mug shot.
They will take your picture and show your mama and your cousin. Here's something that I brought up. I've watched these stories on 60 Minutes, and it does happen. This is a little closer to home as we go just north of Birmingham, a little town called Brookside. They've been accused of preying well, I worded that wrong. They were accused of being racist, number one, of giving tickets to just a certain group of people. Mm-hmm. So they were investigated. Well, it turns out the investigator goes, oh, no, they're not racist. They were equal on cheating everybody, of preying on the poor is what they turned out to be.
Oh, goodness.
What the town has 12 to 1,500 people in it, and the amount of tickets that were being issued was unreal. Mm-hmm. And they preyed, where the word preyed upon comes from is people that could not afford to fight them. They would pull people over, write them tickets, and then if there was something in the gun, they would seize it in their car.
Oh, okay.
Seize their guns, cars were seized, and they only picked on people that looked like they couldn't afford to fight them to where they could sell it and get the money out of it. And they've been busted. It is a mess. And the guy that's investigating said, I really thought within 3 weeks I would be done with this. And he goes, I'm far from it. Mm-hmm. And he goes, again, it's not racist. It didn't matter whether you were black or white. They gave equal amount of tickets to everybody and took things from them. Mm-hmm. And I brought up the example of your husband's like me. Mm-hmm. He'll study around and find something he wants, go to the bank and get the money, and then you go pay cash and buy it.
Right.
What if you're stopped along the way with $5,000 in your front pocket? You're going to buy something. They go, no, that's drug money. Hand it over.
Right.
And a lot of people can't afford to get a lawyer and fight them, and it takes years to get your money back. And that's what this little town, it looks like they were doing. This is investigating, and more will come out of it.
I think that's horrible that people are preyed on like that, like poor people, elderly people. I mean, and people do this all the time.
Yeah.
I've seen this even happen with like land.
Yeah.
You know, where they'll finance the land for somebody, and then somebody miss a couple payments, and then they pull it, and then know that they can't catch up on it. It's just stuff. I don't know. I mean, but preying on.
Forfeitures are a way that a lot of them get this. Now, are there cases to where people really are running drug money? Absolutely, that happens.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that take advantage of that. And I've heard cases of people moving, and they don't believe in putting their money in banks, and they've got their money in cash, and they're moving across the United States, and then their money is taken from them.
Yeah.
Their life savings.
Yeah.
So a few of the headlines in and around in America today that you need to be aware of.
What goes around comes around.
It does.
It always does.
And I wanted to bring this up. Because I was sitting here this morning before you got here. I think it was about 4:15. I was looking at my coffee cup thinking, I can see it over there, but I need it really bad. Mm-hmm. And I realized that this weekend we celebrated 2 years of being on the air, of when we started this up. It was the 26th of 2000. We went live, the very first episode. Mm-hmm. And y'all have made this work, and I can't go beyond saying thank you enough to everyone who has supported us, from the viewership to the sponsors that are here every day.
Yes.
It truly is a dream come true.
Yeah. I mean, and just even when we're if somebody happens to see us out in public, everybody's been so nice.
Mm-hmm.
And they always say, you know, we watch the show. I'm so glad that people are watching it and letting us know that, you know. And if I didn't, like, if I've seen anybody, I don't ask for your name. I mean, I appreciate you, you know, or if I don't, you know, always you're appreciated. And we love the comments and just the interaction with everybody, being able to tell you good news. And, you know, we have bad news sometimes, but just being able to put it out there so everybody can be aware of what's going on in our community and around the world. It's just a nice thing to be able to do.
It would be shocking to know of numbers of just how many people watch now. It is big. Our very first, I want to say a thank you on this. We really just started the website in the last week. And within 1 week, we have had 50,000 people visit our website. That's huge.
Yeah.
50,000 people. That's just the beginning of it. Of 1 week. We have so many other people that watch us from all over the world here in Mississippi and Alabama. Thank y'all.
Yes, thank you so much.
Bottom of my heart. We got more coming up. Don't rush off. We're just getting started this morning to bring you some happiness, we do hope. All right, here with Scotty Ray and Candace. Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Mississippi sweet potatoes, 69 cents a pound. Florida strawberries, $2.99. Heinz squeezable ketchup, 32 ounce, $3.49. Skippy peanut butter, 16.3 ounce, 2 for $5. Baby back ribs, $5.99 a pound. And certified Angus beef top sirloin steak, $7.49 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
On June 30th, 2021, the FDA alerted the public that Philips recalled certain CPAP devices due to concerns regarding its polyester-based polyurethane sound abatement foam. This is a Class 1 recall, the most serious type of recall. Use of these devices may cause serious injuries or death. If you're diagnosed with long-term, permanent, and life-threatening health complications, your illness may be linked to your use of a Philips breathing device, and you may be entitled to compensation. Call Richard Swartz & Associates for a case evaluation today.
And thanks so much for all the kind comments there. As Bill said, he spreads the word. And as always, how do you make this bigger? Share it. Whether you're watching YouTube or you're watching here on Facebook or you're watching on television, tell a friend. Share it so others will know. We do our best to tell the truth and pass the truth around. Somebody said they loved your animal print there. Jackie said she just loves it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I don't have any animal print.
Well, maybe you need to get some, Scotty Ray.
I'm not going to say anything. I had to, you know how you have to think about what you're going to say. I'm going to back away
I don't
from
know
that.
what guys would want to wear animal print unless they wear like a cow hide something. We could trade your cowboy hat for one of those coonskin hats.
Yeah, be Daniel Crockett. I have seen the animal print chaps, and I don't wear chaps either. And was it Sam Elliott that got into a little trouble this week? And he called out another TV show of dudes that were wearing chaps and no shirt and told them they weren't as manly as he thought they ought to be. And they were all mad at Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott is he's like the poster child of manly man.
Oh, yeah. He's got that deep voice.
When Sam talks,
the mustache.
Yeah. He's just a
he
man's
pretty much
man.
tells it like it is, though. And if you like it, that's great. And if you don't, oh, well.
Yeah, he don't
Pretty
care.
much, yeah. That's how he is, but, you know.
And America would be, and that's what would really fix America. If you have a problem, say it.
Yeah.
Let it in there. You can agree to disagree. I've got a gentleman that emails me back and forth probably daily. A great guy. Do he and I see eye to eye on politics? No. But he's still a friend of mine.
Well, to me, that's what keeps things interesting is when everybody can voice their opinion. And I think you can do it with class. You don't have to do it in an ugly way, but you can do it with class. And everybody can, you know, voice their opinion and get along.
And then if you can't get along, you go, I'm going to tell your mama.
Yeah, agree to disagree, like Scotty Ray said, though.
Denise is putting her dollars on the manliest man being Tom Selleck. Truthfully, deep breath, step back, who is the epitome of a manly man? Who is like, when you think of That's it. Are you talking John Wayne? Or are you talking Sam Elliott, Tom Selleck? Or would it have been, what's his face that done the dancing in Dirty Dancing? Patrick Swayze.
I don't know. I think Trace Atkins would be a good manly man.
Trace Atkins will hurt you. I want y'all to know that.
Yeah. If we're just going like all the way across the board.
Across the board, if anything,
or,
anybody.
You know.
So
I think Trace Atkins, I mean, he seems pretty down to earth, manly man.
I just remember Trace looking down at me going, Scotty Ray, what time's dinner?
Goodness.
We got
But
Joyce.
I do like Sam Elliott. He's a good actor. You know.
Joyce is going Sam. She's going to stick with him. So if you know a manly man ought to be, you know, you go back and they banned the guy, and I guess he's passed away. But that old boy that used to be the Marlboro guy, the original one, you know, that cowboy look.
Yeah.
He had it going on there of being Mr. Manly there.
Yeah.
I need a rattlesnake hat band.
Yeah, you could do snake print around your hat.
And now that reminded me of Chris Ledoux. Do y'all remember the song about the hat? Please tell me you do.
Well, tell me what about.
Well, it was basically he goes into a bar, and these bikers come in and they start poking fun in his hat. And they tell him that they're going to come over and whoop him and take his hat. And he goes, you'll ride a tornado before you take this hat. And he goes into the story of the hat belonged to his nephew that died in Vietnam. The snake band that was on it was an Indian friend of his that was chased down and murdered. And it was a hat pin that was given to him by someone. He goes, if you think you're man enough to come over here and take this hat, come on.
Yeah.
Now, we can agree to disagree or we can fight. And gosh, the song was incredible.
I don't guess I've heard that.
If you don't walk away from that with a little bit of pride of being a cowboy and all that good stuff, and in the end, the biker walks away and he says, you know, if your leather jacket means as much to you as my hat means to me, we'll call it even. And the guy does. They just ease away, and it wasn't a fight in the end. But sometimes you got to stand your ground in life.
That's right. You do.
Let's talk about Uncle Joe last night. Poll numbers are out this morning, and it says just 41% of Americans agree with what Joe said last night. So that leaves 59% that either disagreed or didn't have a decision to make.
Yeah.
CNN done the poll now. And your thoughts?
Well, my 3 words I would like to use to explain the whole speech was what a joke, because he made good points. He touched on a lot of bases. What he didn't touch on was when he mentioned support our troops. I mean, Afghanistan was not even mentioned as far as leaving the people over there in Afghanistan and all that stuff. You know, he had people in the audience is representing different things. There was nobody representing the families of these guys that were killed by the bombing over there, you know.
And, you know, as he was talking, as you're saying that, when he was describing all this, what America was doing to help them, you would have thought
it was like a victory speech.
Right.
Almost.
We haven't shot at, these people are getting shot at in the street right now and dying. Now, we are giving aid. I do know that, but
not enough, I don't think. Not enough.
But to hear him, it sounded like we were standing side by side with a gun in hand protecting the innocent over there is what I heard.
Right.
And that's not happening.
Yeah, I mean, there's not like actual troops over there fighting. I don't, you know, but I feel like that they are going through a whole lot over there, and I just feel like he just had this speech about everything, talking about support American, buy American, and here we're buying oil and stuff from other countries when we have access to it in our own country, and we could be drilling here and being self-sufficient, and he just did away with that. And we were doing good with it.
Yes, we were.
And the first day that he, you know, was
went into office.
First day, got rid of the pipeline,
Colonial.
Shut it down. All these people lost jobs. People who were supporting their children going to college, people who were building homes, people who were just trying to earn an honest living, and their whole families were affected. And he's going to stand up there and say, buy American, support American. And he's not even doing that. Well, he has easy access to be able to do that.
Well, there's a campaign called It Ain't Made in America Anymore. And we've talked about that so much until we fix that problem. You know, used to people go, well, you don't buy even American cars. 90% of it's made in a foreign country and sent here and assembled.
Well, they're talking about, too, make the electric cars more affordable to be able to buy. They're wanting electric cars, which I think is just insane to think that everybody could just go to electric cars, because there's a lot of things that could happen with you driving an electric car. From what I was told, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I shouldn't even say it, but I mean, I think the batteries to these electric cars are made in other countries.
Do you remember that when they went bankrupt? You know, Obama started that battery factory and it went bankrupt, didn't work out.
But I think he made some good points, but I think he took credit for a lot of things that he either has not done, and let's don't hold our breath, you know, to hope that it is done with the track record that we've already seen in the last, the year. But
this was the lowest liked speech since 2007. George W. got a bad one in 2007, and this is the lowest ranked one since then.
And I could sit here and take this book and read stuff off of it every day, but if he'd have had to sit there and speak from the heart and speak and say things and say, not just read a speech off of a piece of paper. And I don't know if anybody noticed Nancy, because she had a copy of the speech back there.
Oh yeah, she didn't rip this one up.
Did you see her thumbing what's he talking about now? Is this in the speech? Did you see that? Because I did. Yeah. I kept thinking.
Well, and Denise made the comment right there. If you'll see that happened last night.
Yeah. Yeah. He said something about that, and then he said Iraq, and then Afghanistan corrected itself.
He called the Ukrainians Iranians in a blurb. Right. He messed that up. Now here's the next point.
People are going to make mistakes, and I know people will pick it apart, but
And this is most likely what I made somebody mad about this morning was his speech. As we have this thing in America to where it's a divided line of transgender, of having men play sports that aren't women,
right? And
bathrooms. And during his speech, he made it very clear that transgenders, he's got your back. Be yourself and reach your God-given potential is what he said last night. And if you wondered where Joe was on the subject, now you know. Maybe you agree with that, maybe you don't. I don't tend to agree with that. I have different thoughts on that. My upbringing tells me different. But that's where Joe is.
That's what makes us all different, though.
Correct.
You know? I mean, everybody has their own beliefs and their own opinions.
Now, I also talked about this during the 6:30 a.m. show. And bottom line, this really explains a whole lot of him not getting it. As we watch daily on the news, when you turn on, these Ukrainians are getting shot at. The government had to hand out rifles to the average citizen to protect themselves. Joe made the comment last night that he wants to ban assault rifles and doesn't understand why anyone would ever need a magazine that held more than 5-10 rounds of ammunition. If you look at Ukraine, that is exactly why you need clips that have more to protect yourself in case of things like that. Now, are there instances where people that are not mentally stable get a hold of guns and do things with them they shouldn't? Yes. But it, again, is not the gun that did it. It is the person behind it, that trigger finger. It is never a gun that has gone off that has hurt anyone by itself.
Right.
It is someone behind that gun.
And let's address also him saying we need to secure our borders. Really? I mean, really?
I missed
You're going
that
to say
part.
that now after you've let millions and millions of people in who now you want to be able to give the access to vote when they're not, they're not even American, citizens now. And they want to give them access to vote because it benefits them, But you've let all these people in, not to mention that there are probably a lot of criminals, within them, murderers, rapists, a lot of great people too, not just all bad people, but still he's addressing things now after the fact, after the fact. And I'd love to see him secure the border.
Who wouldn't?
I just don't think he's going to do it.
Now, Kim made a comment, and I didn't see the end of the speech. She said, who was Joe talking about when he said, go get him? Did you see that part?
Yeah, he said, go get him. Yeah.
Who was he referring to?
At the very end of the speech, it sounded like he was doing a good closing of the speech, and and then at the end he goes, go get him.
Go get who, though?
Nobody knows who he's talking about. Everybody kind of, that I've seen have, comment about it has said, did he mean Vladimir Putin? Did he mean, who did he mean? Was it just something he said?
And Jeff Fuller just made a good point there. The guy that we talked about yesterday that had the hammer that beat on the woman. He didn't have a gun. Criminals are going to be criminals. They're going to use whatever means of necessary, whether it's a stick, it's a knife, it's a hammer, they're going to find something to be bad. And that's the people that you cannot have in society. That's why we have a system that locks away people that can't coincide with others, that harm other people.
And it's just a domino effect. When you let this group of people get away with everything that they're doing, burning cities down, it's going to happen here, it's going to happen here. People are not afraid to break the law because
Not
they
anymore.
know that they're not going to get a major consequence. You know, they're going to get a little pop on the hand. And
this goes back exactly to the family, what we brought up a while ago. If you've got a child that is not does not ever get in trouble and they go, I'm going to put you in timeout. Okay, if you do that one more time, I'm going to put you in, and the parent never does anything.
1, 2. How many times have you seen somebody count?
Right.
This is what I always do because my knee. I mean, you can ask my grown kids. I mean, they knew. Like if I did, I didn't even sit there and count out loud. I just said, if I hold up one finger, that's a warning. If I hold up 2, you better be on your way over to me.
Well,
if I hit 3, that's it. Because, I mean, I'm not
So this,
one time.
This really adds up. Now, last time I saw your husband, he was over there playing with his fingers. I now know what the man was doing.
All I had to do was this. 2 fingers. I meant business. I didn't even have to say anything.
Who remembers that look you'd get in church as a kid? You knew it was coming as soon as you got home.
You ever had a plug pinched out of you?
Yeah, I have.
Like under that little soft, little tender skin right there?
Yeah. Happened on prom night. I didn't take her home.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Obviously, so a lot of these people have not had a grandma that owned a switch bush. Because mine
And I've seen
would
that.
tear you up.
I've seen that floating around Facebook. It goes, how many will know this and that switch?
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, you had to go get your own switch.
That's right. That was the longest walk there and back. And if you didn't have one that agreed with her, you know, that she agreed with, you would go back and get another one.
Yeah, if it wasn't big enough. Let's take a minute and talk about our friends at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. And there's a lot of folks that work there. Good people. They've been there since 32. Yep. Drop in and visit them today. As we get ready for this warm weather this weekend, it's going to be a lot of people outside on those hands and knees in those little gardens.
That's right.
Getting it ready. And this is what we've got here. Pennington, they'll help you out there. Lots of fertilizer. Any of the black soil to make it grow good, they've got it. All your work clothing. If you work outside and you need FR clothing, they've got a lot of it there. I said that wrong.
If you don't know what
speech.
FR clothing is, fire retardant. Right?
Yeah, because a lot of times I'll just forget to say that
Yeah,
one.
because I didn't know when you first said that. I was like, what is that?
FR clothing. Yeah. Well, there you go. And, of course, if you need any jeans, any type of pants to work with or a T-shirt, they've got it, including ball caps. And still, if you need overalls, they got them. You'll see that there, along with anything when it comes to flashlights, being handy. You have to have those around. And dog boxes. Yeah, don't forget about those. Along with boots to work in, whether it's muddy or just a regular work boot, they've got those from shovels and a whole lot more. You'll take care of your pets as we go down with candles over there with skillets to straighten out the average husband. They got them. Corn and a whole lot more. Guns, see them at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151, just off the interstate. The back porch of Meridian is now open on Highway 19. Anything outdoors. Grills, fryers, pellets, and all grills come with free assembly. Whether you're looking for a cooler or custom woodwork, plus local beef, milk and ice cream from Beeson, products from Cyples Mills, spices, and a whole lot more. And don't forget to check out the She Shed, where you'll find authentic Louis Vuitton purses and more. And we can't leave out the spoon fudge. The back porch, Highway 19 North Meridian. As the days get warmer, the grass starts growing. Drop in and visit with Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 in Sicalina, where they've got a complete line of the #1 lawnmower in America, Skag. Whether you're a homeowner or a lawn care service, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower just for you. Plus, they carry Exmark tractors and any part that you may need for your existing tractor or lawnmower. Drop in and see Cole or Buttermilk today. Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, 601-626-8759. Good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace. Already 32 minutes after the hour on a flying by Wednesday.
It is.
You know, and Candace was sitting, she goes, 1917. As we start out, what happened on this day in history, and it just does not seem possible because we all grew up with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that is over, 105 years ago.
Yeah.
It would be.
Gosh.
Woo. As we look at this, we're talking about Desi Arnaz. He was born on this day. Mm-hmm. And that is probably one of the most iconic pictures. That's when life was really good for them.
Yeah. Loved Lucille Ball.
Hey,
Love to
Lucy. I think that will be around forever.
Yeah. Got some splaining to do.
And he was a great actor.
Yeah.
Not a soul that
was.
didn't like him that I know. 1935, we would grow up with this little character, and it would be introduced on this date, and it would become a Christmas song later, and I can't do it, singing Blue Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking Porky the Pig made his debut on this date back in 35.
I think I played this maybe one Christmas. I don't know, but my little boy got a kick out of it.
The Blue
to it.
Christmas?
Yeah, with this one, the
Porky.
Porky Pig one.
It's good.
Alan Daver, let me say this,
Okay.
wants to remind the listeners that today is high fire danger. So please do not burn today. Don't burn outside.
That's right. And we can show that right here, what that means. And here's, as we just interrupt for just a second there, that's
Yeah,
what it
sorry.
is.
Yeah.
There.
I didn't want the comments to get away
Yeah,
from
that's
us
fine.
and
But
not
yeah,
mention it.
watch what you're burning today. That could be a mess for us. They had a fire yesterday out near the base. So that went on. 1956, and I still love this song because he done it like no one else ever did. In 56, you'd wake up and hear this at some point today on the radio. And what was it? Lottie, Lottie, Miss Claudie, you sure are looking good today. You like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the song, but I was watching Elvis last night, though. I was
You
watching
are
a video of
kidding. You don't
Elvis
know
last
Lottie?
night. I don't know that. If I heard it, I might.
That's like
When you
against
said
the
that.
law to live in Mississippi and not know all of Elvis's songs.
I don't know them all, but I was watching a video last night. I had it turned all the way down, though. I was just watching the crowd and stuff. I think it was probably in the 50s, just looking at all the hairstyles, the women that line the stage, just waiting to get up there and just
They just wanted to touch him.
touch him. Yeah.
That's all they wanted. Lay a hand on Elvis.
Yeah.
But I don't know everyone, but I want to be free. Free. That was a great song. Of course, it came from Jailhouse Rock. Did you ever watch that movie?
I did. I didn't watch it in entirety because I was younger. And
What a movie there. And Elvis really wanted to be a serious actor, and the Colonel never would let him. Just refused to let him. He had to throw a singing part in and everything. And Elvis wanted to act and do it, and he could. If you go back to Flaming Star, Love Me Tender. Love Me Tender was probably one of the ones that had more acting in it. When one of those, a car goes by, well, let's get a race.
Jalen said, now I'm all shook up.
There you go. But Elvis was, and I was reading something not long ago that Elvis holds the record of being able to have the highest highs and the lowest of lows of any singer. And that's what made that man so unique. 42 years old, look at what he done. Loved by everyone in the world.
Yes.
Let's go to, what now?
Well, Bill Reinhart said he sang Kentucky Rain last night for me. I did see that. I saw you sing it, Bill. And I have heard it before. I just didn't realize I'd heard it before. You did a great job, though, Bill.
What a song.
Yes.
That's good. And I also posted out, and you probably didn't go back and look, the Robert Conrad commercial. I put it on our page so you could watch it.
I was scrolling through, and I saw the picture of him.
Go ahead, knock it off. That was a big commercial back in the day. Who remembers the late 80s? It was a big time for a group. And so many times we see that groups think, well, the lead singer think, well, I'm better than the rest of y'all. I'm going out on my own, and y'all ain't coming with me. Well, that happened with a group called Restless Heart, and it would never recover. His solo career went kaput. The group went kaput when they should have stayed together like Alabama. They would have made it. But Larry Stewart celebrates a birthday today. He was born in 1959. He was the lead singer. A fast-moving train. Who remembers that? They had a bunch of great songs. Loved Restless Heart. And they were there for a while, a little bit of a competition for Alabama.
A lot of people think they can go out on their own and just be a hit. Doesn't always, 9 times out of 10, it just doesn't work out for them.
There was a group that was made up in a studio to take on Alabama when Alabama was such a success, and the group was called Atlanta. They would break up before the album ever hit stores, but still have a huge hit. Yeah. And they never got back together. It was called Atlanta Burned Again Last Night. Anybody remember that? All the fire in the ocean couldn't put out the fire this time. Woo! She was having an affair with an old boy. It was pretty good according to the song.
Yeah.
I used to get carried away with country music. I like it.
I like country music too. I just don't have a memory like you to know all the words to everything and every movie. I just don't. I can't remember what I did yesterday, Scotty Ray.
Stuck on you. Well, I have those moments too. There are things that I can't remember. Mm-hmm. But Lordy, Miss Claudia, I sure did love that one. 1960 would be the only time in Elvis's life that he ever touched down in another country there, and it would be here. Here we go, Elvis there. He stopped, touched ground there in British soil there. First time, only time he ever went there. It was a big day on that. He made a phone call there, and they did a press conference. And he always wanted to go back and do a tour there, but the Colonel, yet again, wouldn't let him. Did you? Now, you bound to like this group.
Oh, yeah, Bon Jovi. Who did not listen to Bon Jovi? You didn't listen to Bon Jovi?
No, I name me a song that they...
Let me think. You always do this.
But I really don't know Bon Jovi.
Y'all do a Bon Jovi song, because, I listen to him all the time. Let me think. You put me on the spot.
And let me explain my life.
I listen to him all the time.
When I went up to the Northeast High School, I graduated in 1987. I looked no different than I look this moment. I was not a popular person. I did not hang around with the people that had the fancy car. I wore flannel, and I didn't fit in with the rest of them. Why? I was country. I didn't know Bon Jovi. I really didn't. I didn't, and that was okay with me that I didn't fit into the in crowd. I walked my own little beat, and I was way different than everybody. That turned out all right. But honestly, I knew
Living on a Prayer.
I've heard that, Living on a Prayer.
I know y'all think that I'm crazy when I go, I listen to him, then I can't think of one song. But when you start naming them, I could probably sing all the words to it, But yeah, Living on a Prayer, Wanted Dead or Alive. Let's see, where's the other one? Bad Medicine. Was that Bon Jovi though? Bad Medicine? I don't know. But Blaze of Glory.
That was Kenny Rogers and Dottie West. Let's go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, this is a different version.
Okay. Well, I don't know that.
Shot Down in Blaze of Glory. Yeah.
No, I don't know that. I think Kenny's version
but anyway,
was better.
Yeah, You Give Love a Bad Name.
I've heard that song. That was
Yeah.
because of prom. That's the reason I heard that. But I've been called plowboy and all kinds of things all of my life. But it's okay. I mean, I wouldn't say picked on, but I was not in the in crowd. That's all right.
I listened to country back, like when I was in school. I mean, I loved country music. Of course, back then it was just like classic country music, George Strait, George Jones. I mean, Waylon Jennings. I mean, all that. We listened to all of them. And then I listened to Bon Jovi. And I was never a heavy metal listener. I didn't listen to that.
So let me spring this on you.
But I wore my cowboy boots in high school.
Do you know the only two things in life that make it worth living? Oh, come on.
It's a song, I'm sure. It's words to a song.
It's Waylon. Yeah. Guitars tuned and firm feeling women. I don't need my name in the... Okay, anyway. All right, we'll move on to the next thing that happened. In 1962, this old boy would be born in Meridian. He was actually from right across the line, and they give credit to Meridian being his hometown. It was not. It would be Butler, Alabama. Right. And we're talking Ty Herndon.
A girl I went to school with is his cousin.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
What color were her eyes? And where was she born?
She has blue eyes.
No, you're missing the whole point there. The song.
Oh, I don't know.
It was his biggest hit. Her eyes were blue.
You were talking about the actual.
She was born
Scotty
in Baton
Ray.
Rouge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh, what a song. Ty really made that song.
I thought you were asking me what color her eyes were.
She going to get on the same level with me one day.
I just was talking about a girl I went to high school with. His cousin. What color were her eyes? I don't know when her blood type was. I don't know.
1963, I wasn't around, but boy, this was a big hit, y'all. Walk Like a Man. Mm-hmm. And I only know just the chorus. I don't know anything else on that song.
Walk Like a Man.
That's it. That's all I can tell you.
Like a Man. Yeah.
I don't know if they ever had another hit, but they were out there. The Four Seasons was the name of that. This old boy I've met many times, and he is what you see. He could almost fit that Manly Man Award in America, and I'm talking Tuff Hedeman celebrates a birthday today. Born in 63. Little bitty fellow, though. He's tough. And that's how he got his name. 1974, you would know this song, and it was called Seasons in the Sun. Anybody remember Terry Jack?
I do not.
That's been a while there, but that was number one on this date back in 74 as we look at a few things there. Let's see. I did not realize that this... I thought it would be on into the 80s before he would do it, but in 1977...
I didn't realize it was in 77.
He would start walking away, and Jay Leno takes over the Tonight Show.
I did not realize it was in the 70s.
Unless there was a big typo on what I read. 77 is what I read.
Yeah, because, I mean, I would only have been 3 years, no, yeah,
Jay would
3
get,
years old, and I know.
Carson retired, and he didn't come back.
Yeah.
Maybe they made a mistake there. I need to look that up again. But I thought, yeah, that does
But I
sound
did like
kinda-
Jay Leno. I liked him.
Jay Leno. 1990, this is probably the best country artist that's out there that is current. I have to give him kudos on this. Luke Combs was born on this day back in 90. Got some great music.
That makes me feel really old. He was born in 90.
He's 32 now.
Now that really makes me feel old.
1 year ago today, Dolly would dole out $1 million to help Americans with COVID. She donated $1 million to research. She's always such a sweet lady and helping.
She does so much for so many people. She does. Something the other day that I had, she's paying tuition for her employees in Dollywood to be able to go back to school for their tuition and their books, I think.
Yeah, who else does this?
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people help people that much. Not to mention the books that kids get for free. All you got to do is sign up for it when they're born in the hospital, and you get a free book every single month in the mail.
Richard, I was reading this comment there, says you put peanuts in your Coke. That tells how country you are. Mm-hmm. And they're good, too, y'all.
A lot of the guys and people that I went to school with did that. I might eat them and then drink a Coke with them, but I never put them in my Coke. I don't know. Maybe I need to try it.
You should. Mm-hmm. And Bill, I assume you're talking about the Bluest Eyes in Texas, that song by Restless
They're
Heart.
haunting me tonight. Yeah. That's Restless Heart.
Restless Heart. I remember Seasons in the Sun. That was Linda Culpepper. Graduated school in 77, Steve said. I was 8, Steve. I was trying to get there.
I was 3.
Such a baby.
That was, probably into everything.
We have more coming up with Scotty Ray and Candace. Don't go anywhere. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
I'm attorney Richard Schwartz. Why do bikers hire us after their accident?
I knew Richard Schwartz was local, and I knew he knew that rural area. When I really needed help, he got me back on my feet. Richard Schwartz knows the roads, he knows the people, and he fights for bikers.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike and Jake have years of experience of dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel. And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And we're going to look into this thing of the Jay Leno thing, because it doesn't sound right. And you had somebody say...
Yeah, somebody said that he retired in 92. So May 22nd, 1992 is when he retired. So I thought it was later, and that's the year I graduated from high school. So.
I'm trying to go back and find all that. I'm just getting word, and I'll try to get the pictures up here in just a second. There has been a wreck. Highway 19 South at Willow Ridge entrance. This would be right down from Bonita Lakes.
Those apartments.
Right. And it'll take me just a second here, but we're going to try to get those to where y'all can see those in just a second. I have to do several things to get it on the air, but I'm going to get it there so where you can see it. We'll have those in just a moment to pull up. And I wanted to look at this. While I'm going to take a quick button here and see if I can find where that boo-boo, and that is not the right button, where they put Jay Leno, because that doesn't even sound right.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if it was here in Texas. No, it's going to be on a different site. I'll have to look that back up. But something's not right about that. The 90s does sound more like Johnny Carson walking off into the sunset.
Mm-hmm. And like Scotty Ray said, when he left, he was gone. He didn't come back.
No, he did not.
You know, a lot of people will you'll see them in the public eye a little more here and there, even after they've you know, because even Jay Leno, you see him on stuff.
Right.
Because he's been on that Counting Cars show, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got his own little show.
He loves collecting old antique cars and hot rods and stuff. So
yeah.
But,
let's see. I almost got this to where we can show this picture up here of what's going on.
Okay.
At least I think I do. It hadn't come through yet. We're trying to get there. I'll open that back up and see if I can find it.
Hope everybody's having a good day though so far.
Yeah, I ain't doing so
Most
good
people
over
are
here.
probably headed to work or just getting to work and starting their day, and hope that it's a good day.
Yeah, me too.
You know, that's what we always hope for.
Yeah, absolutely. I got the picture now up here of the incident.
Okay,
Let me
goodness.
drag this over
Okay,
here,
come on
what
back.
everybody can see. This looks pretty serious of what we've got. Let me pull this back up where we can get the screens. And almost got it here. All right, let me show you the screen over here, what we've got. This is a pretty serious accident.
Hope everybody was okay.
That's the wrong one. Hang on here. That did not throw that in the right place like I wanted it to. For whatever reason, I don't know. Let's see if this works right now. Yeah, there we go. This is the scene right now, right down from Willow Ridge, and it looks like it's nearly a head-on. Most likely that's a turn in there and someone pulled out in front of
Right.
someone. If you're in the area there, be careful. Pretty
Yes.
serious accident as we looked at that this morning. It does include a Ford truck and a car. More coming up with that here in a little bit. We'll get this stuff posted so you know more about this accident. But if you're in that area, just past Bonita Lakes, drive careful. That's one of the things that are happening this morning. In the little news article that popped up there, Foot Locker, which is a tennis shoe store, is more or less having Nike pull from their store. Nike is going after online sales, major. So they're going to be pulling it from the store, and they've got to replace it with a different brand. Are we fixing to see where major companies like this do more of this to where it's not sent to the local store to be sold, that they take it all back and sell it completely online?
They could. That could happen. Sure.
Maybe it'll work. I don't know the outcome of that for the long run. But that's one of the headlines across America today of trying to figure that out. Do you remember the lady that we brought up last week that was parallel parking her car, and she meant to mash the gas, the brake, and she hit the gas and jumped the curb and ran over someone that was eating outside, and it killed
Lord.
them? No charges against her. They've decided that it was merely an accident. It was in Florida. Back in 2015, she may have had a little too much drink, but had nothing to do with that night. She had not drank anything. She just got confused. It was several people injured, but one person died.
It's awful. I mean, that is horrible that happened. But then I think about first thing that comes to my mind, like other incidents, that the trucker who had the brake issue, who he did not mean to do that. You know, that was an accident. But he was charged, was he not?
Yeah, he was. You know, and they had that petition that went around to break that down to where he got like 140 years in jail, and they dropped it to 10 years.
Yeah.
Becky
that's
Brown has
awful.
solved the mystery. It was his first appearance on Johnny Carson.
In 77.
Right, and he took
Okay.
over in 92. So it was just worded wrong when I read that. Good to know. All right, as we look at a few other stories that are happening this morning, we talked about this yesterday. Do you remember the father who murdered his 3 children?
Yeah.
What that was, and I didn't know at the time. He had restraining orders put against him, and the meeting place for him to see his children were in the church. That was the meeting place to where it was supervised inside a church. And then he goes in and murders his 3 children and commits suicide. There are messed up people in this world.
There are.
Sometimes
That is
there's
awful.
reasons
It's
for
horrible.
divorces, and that there's limits put on who can.
And a supervised visit. Thank goodness he didn't. Well, I mean,
It's a
the
wonder,
outcome of that was horrible.
It
But,
was.
Like, I can understand why it would have to be supervised.
because he had
If
issues.
he was even capable of doing, some stuff, and obviously he was. So
The wife apparently knew that. And that new thing that I mentioned that they're introducing to the state of Mississippi for domestic violence, to where they're going to track this more and keep up with, have it faster for police to put in information about domestic violence.
that's good.
Current pictures of people that don't need to be doing this. So that's a good news there that's happening across the state there. So let's talk about cleaning your house. And Godwin Cleaning Services there, they do a lot in the Meridian area. You've seen the pictures before, what they do from a business, from simply getting your roof cleaned, or maybe it's your parking lot that needs fixed up. Well, they can do this on a routine basis. If you've got a business and you want it done once a month or bi-monthly, however, they'll keep those parking lots spotless for you there. From roofs and more, they do all of this. 253-8262 is the number there. Rust removal, anything to that nature, including your brick sidewalk. Or maybe you splurged and went in and got the concrete that wraps around in several places. They can fix those also. From animals that are concrete out front, cleaning them, making them look good, to your steps. And as we all know, it saves you money on your roofs and also on all your painting there to keep this clean. Shingle.
It looks brand new.
Does.
After they cleaned it.
So see that. They've got plenty more pictures they can show you there. Let them give you an estimate. Find out how affordable this is to keep your house or business looking the very best that it can, from shingles all the way up. All right. We've got a concrete building there, and also chimneys. Those turn colors. Get all that cleaned off there.
Looks like rust maybe had gone down it or something, and they got that cleaned off. So
they did there from that top cap is what that
job.
is. That's rust is what that is. Can't get anything past this girl, y'all. See them today. Godwin Cleaning Services, for all your cleaning needs. They'll help you.
No matter what hat you wear, if you're hurt on the job, you're gonna need me. We've helped thousands of our injured clients get their medical bills paid and recover lost wages. And we're ready to help do the same for you today. One call, that's all.
And welcome back. As LaWanda said, that the gentleman we were just talking about there that killed his children, he also...
He killed the chaperone, is what she said. I didn't know that. It's horrible. And Scott says that when I was talking about the truck driver and the brake issue,
right? He
says to understand that the DOT rules is that a truck driver has to check their brakes daily. I did not know that, so I guess I can understand then.
Yeah, you've got to do that 360 walk around and check mud. They'll write you the DOT. Those guys, if it's a mud flap out of place. Yeah, it was a lot that went into that. What I don't know about that guy was how long he was a truck driver. Yeah, was he somebody new that was inexperienced? And then as we've seen the big rush here lately of them adding truck drivers, of anybody that'll drive. If you've got a license, you can go, and it's not a cherry picking of the better driver right now because no one wants to work.
That's right.
As we turn to some other things that have happened here, a Seattle bakery. This is where not having law is really getting out of hand. A bakery. She'd go to her shop every day, and this is over there where all those protests were and riots, however you want to word it. And it got to where after the police disappeared, that winos, drug addicts were laying in front of her store. Now people don't feel comfortable buying from her. They don't feel safe. She's having to close her doors now because of this.
I can understand that.
Yeah, would you want to go into a place that had somebody lay in?
I don't feel comfortable in a lot of senses, go in a lot of places where, crime is rampant and stuff like that and stuff. I would not feel comfortable though going in right there. No. It's understandable.
You've got to protect people, and people will not shop with you if they don't feel safe.
I think that has a lot to do with, people not shopping in a lot of areas too. Malls and different things like that. People don't feel safe going to their cars.
Think about it. When you're traveling, you're taking a vacation, where do you pull in to buy gas? You stop at the one that's got the clean parking lot. Yeah. You don't pull into one that's got trash all around it. And you take that thought with you no matter what you do in life. Your home, your business, keep it clean. It means, y'all know where I'm going with that.
You want to make it presentable.
Correct.
And enticing for people to come in and shop or eat or whatever. So, yeah.
MasterCard taking a step there against Russia. They have cut off all credit cards of Visa in Russia. Hopefully it'll hurt them there.
I heard last night where Biden was, they were cutting off all Russian flights.
They have.
I think that's a good thing, that they're trying to. I hate it for innocent people who are stuck there and maybe can't leave if they want to leave. But
we'll be back tomorrow morning. We want to say thank y'all for coming by and spending a few moments with us today. Back at 8 a.m. We'd love to hear from you as well. Always drop us a note.
Y'all have a wonderful day.
Scotty Ray's weather is brought to you by